Welcome to our video on the top 5 best gaming motherboards in 2024. We've handpicked these motherboards for their superior performance, reliability, and advanced features that cater to all gaming enthusiasts. Whether you're building a new rig or upgrading your current setup, these motherboards will ensure you get the most out of your gaming experience. You can find all the product buying links in the video description. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more insights, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us continue to bring you the best content. Let's dive into the top gaming motherboards of 2024. Number 5, Gigabyte's B650E Aorus Master is an enticing option at the top of Gigabyte's B650 motherboard stack, especially if you like fast internal storage. It comes with 4 PCIe 5.0 M2 sockets and loads of USB ports on the rear I/O. It lacks 40 Gbps ports and the latest and greatest audio codec, but it is still one of the best Ryzen 7000 options in the $350 price range. The B650E Aorus Master is the flagship board from Gigabyte's B650 lineup. Priced around $150 less than the X670E Aorus Master we reviewed previously, it still comes well equipped with multiple PCIe 5.0 M2 sockets, 13 USB ports including 20 Gbps Type-C, last-gen flagship class audio solution, overbuilt power delivery, and an appearance that looks more premium than the price. While it is missing 40 Gbps ports, a feature few B650 boards include. Unless you require this feature, choosing a B650-based motherboard will save you a considerable amount of money compared to X670E models. Gigabyte went all in on the B650 chipset, offering a total of 13 motherboards compared to 5 X670 of varying sizes and prices. You'll find all the familiar Aorus lines, Master, Elite, Ultra, and Pro, and a B650 Aero G for the creators. There are also a couple of non-Aorus boards, namely the Gaming X and DS3H SKUs. With the sheer number in the product stack, there's something for everyone, including Micro ATX and Mini ITX SKUs. Prices range from $159.99 B650mm DS3H to $349.99 with the Aorus Master. Features-wise, the B650 Aorus Master has the same high-level attributes as its X670E sibling, including an 8-layer PCB, 105A SPS MOSFETs, fully reinforced slots, M2 and PCIe EZ latch, and more. In fact, the B650 Master uses the same capable power delivery, 16-phase 105A SPS MOSFETs too. If the 13 USB ports on the rear I/O, including a 20 Gbps Type-C port, aren't enough, you may want to re-evaluate your peripherals, as you won't find many boards with more. Although the audio section uses a last-gen codec, Realtek ALC2220VB, it is a flagship model, and the board includes an integrated DAC. Performance on B650 Aorus Master matched X670E boards and its peers in productivity and gaming, so it has all of the bases covered. Number 4. The Asus TUF Gaming B650M Plus Wi-Fi, $229.99, is a reliability-focused board that readily supports flagship-class AM5 processors, a PCIe 4.0 M2 socket, and integrated Wi-Fi 6 and 2.5 GBE. It's decently outfitted, but direct competitors are less expensive with similar features. The Asus TUF Gaming B650M Plus Wi-Fi, $229.99, aside from being a mouthful to say, is a lower-end Micro ATX board based on the B650 chipset. It comes with everything that makes it tough, including military standard endurance and reliability testing, capable power delivery, and more. Specifications-wise, it comes well-equipped for its price range, though you are missing PCIe 5.0 slots. Still, you have plenty of storage options, including a PCIe 5.0 M2 socket, a budget-class audio solution, and support for the latest AM5 processors from AMD, including the flagship Ryzen 9 7950X we test with. The B650M Plus Wi-Fi comes with 3 PCIe slots, 2 full-length, 4 SATA ports, and 2 M2 sockets, with M2 Q latches, which means no fumbling with tiny screws, for storage options, which should be enough for most people. The 12-phase power delivery for V-Core isn't the most robust we've seen, but it and the oversized heat sinks handled our tests easily. The Realtek audio solution is acceptable for most users and is the same model you'll find on competing boards. The rear I/O has 8 USB ports, 7 of them Type A, which could leave some users wanting more. Overall, the board stacks up well next to the other micro ATX offerings in the same price range. While this board doesn't make our best motherboards list because of its current price, it's still a viable micro ATX option and one of the least expensive options for the platform, around $230. Before we get into all the details, here is a complete list of specs for the TUF Gaming B650M plus Wi-Fi, direct from Asus. Number 3. Overall, the Aorus Master is a good-looking option in the 500 Z790 price range. You get an incredible 14 USB ports on the rear I/O, solid power delivery, a PCIe 5.0 M2 socket, a 10 GBE port, and killer-based Wi-Fi 6E. It also performs well against its peers, but there are no USB 4 ports, and you don't get the latest audio codec. Intel just released the highly anticipated Intel Raptor Lake i9 or 13900K processor, alongside a couple lesser i7 and i5 CPUs. For details on the CPUs, check out our reviews. But in short, the new flagship processor brings more E-cores to the table, increases clock speeds, and has other notable improvements. And as with most new CPU generations, the chips arrive alongside a new chipset, Z790 this time around, which includes native support for the new processors, a PCIe 5.0 slot and M2 socket, additional USB connectivity, including the new USB 4, 40 Gbps, improved power delivery, and an updated aesthetic. Below, we'll cover all the details on the Z790 Aorus Master and try to answer the question of whether a Z790 board, or at least this board, is worth buying when so many Z690 boards are already available that also support Raptor Lake CPUs. Gigabyte's website lists 10 Z790 motherboards at launch, which covers a wide variety of ATX-size SKUs and price points. You'll find familiar branding, including the Aorus branded Master and Elite, an Aero board, Aero G, for creatives, trust productivity, and the more budget-conscious UD, ultra-durable boards. Z790 also supports DDR4 on some models, and you'll find a couple of options for those as well. Currently missing are any micro ATX or mini ITX boards, but we hope to see those and the flagship Extreme Waterforce down the road. Prices range from $169.99 for the UD DDR4 up to $499.99 for the Aorus Master. New platform and Gigabyte product stack details aside, the new Z790 Aorus Master offers all the goodies from the new platform. You get a PCIe 5.0 OX16 slot, a PCIe 5.0 M.2 socket, more robust power delivery, 14 USB ports including 320 Gbps Type-C ports, a 10 GBE port, and an updated appearance, with the black-on-gray theme moving up the product stack a bit. The Z690 Master was black. Tested performance on our Aorus Master mixed in with our two other tested Z790 boards, so there are no issues there. We don't expect it to change much with more data sets, but it is still early in the life cycle of this platform. Number 2. Video Cards shared a post earlier this morning showing leaked images of MSI's upcoming B760 Tomahawk motherboard. This is the first motherboard we've seen to date packing Intel's yet-to-be-announced B760 chipset. The motherboard greatly resembles its B660 predecessor, featuring the same ATX form factor and design language. The motherboard also appears to share the same amount of storage options and PCIe slots as its predecessor, confirming previous rumors that B760 won't be a massive upgrade over B660. This MSI motherboard, along with other B760 models from other vendors, should be released sometime in early 2023 after Intel officially announces its B760 chipset, likely at CES 2023, which starts on January 5th. Intel released the higher-end Z790 chipset alongside 3 fully unlocked processors when its 13th generation Raptor Lake CPUs launched a few months ago. Intel decided to hold back the release of its non-overclockable 65W CPUs and its lower-end 700 series chipsets until next year. Video cards images demonstrate this fact quite clearly with the B760 Tomahawk. The board has a near-identical layout to its predecessor with the same amount of SATA ports, PCIe slots, and M2 storage solutions. We expect some of these slots will be upgraded to Gen 4, but users will get the same amount of physical slots and connectors as the previous generation board. Rear I/O shares the same story, with the B760 Tomahawk having the same amount of USB ports, audio ports, and internet connectivity options as the B660 version. But 4 of the Type A ports have been upgraded to 10 Gbps. You get 20 Gbps on the Type C port and a Wi-Fi upgrade from version 6 to 6E. So at least there is an upgrade here in some form. But if the price increases quite a bit from this gen to the last, and this board is an indication of what's to come for B670, lots of people building mainstream gaming and computing rigs are going to be better off opting for the B660 options as long as they're still available. Number 1. The Maxsun iCraft. Z790 Wi-Fi is a worthy option if you can find it around its $309.99 MSRP. It blends in well with most builds and offers solid specifications, including 4 M2 sockets, dual 2.5 GBE ports, robust power delivery, and more. So long as you don't need 10 Gbps USB ports and don't mind the budget audio, it's just as good as the competition. After recently looking at the Maxsun iCraft Z790 ITX Wi-Fi motherboard, we were eager to get our hands on the full-size version to see what the company can do with more real estate to work with. Priced at $309.99 MSRP, the iCraft Z790 Wi-Fi is more of a budget to mid-range board for the premium Z790 chipset, and the feature list reflects that. There are ample USB ports on the rear I/O, well-built power delivery, 4 M2 sockets, dual 2.5 GBE LAN ports, integrated Wi-Fi 6E, and a black and silver appearance with a lot of heatsink coverage, plus RGB lighting elements. It's a full-featured motherboard, but the key, at least for those in the US, is finding it available close to its MSRP. For the money, you get nearly all of the platform's major features, except for a PCIe 5.0 x4 capable M2 socket and the latest generation audio codec, if you count that as a platform feature. Though the competition doesn't offer much more, you'll have to spend more to get it. That said, there's plenty to like, including front and rear USB 3.2 Gen 2 20 Gbps, Type C ports, high-end power delivery capable of supporting over 400W, dual 2.5 GBE ports, and the skylight RGB effect on the VRM heatsink put it right up there against the more well-known competition. Features and appearance aside, the board performed well in our benchmark testing, in part due to the updated PL values in the BIOS. In fact, it performed the best on average of all the boards we've tested and did well across our gaming tests. If you like to tweak the BIOS, there are plenty of options to do so, but the appearance of the interface isn't quite as refined as Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, or even ASRock's are, but that's a minor qualm.